Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button. We've got a load of news to discuss today. Hello English Nick, thank you very much for tuning in as always. I very much appreciate it. We've been doing these live streams since Bitcoin was down at $16,000 every single weekday, and we do not plan to stop. Next week, I will actually have somebody else from Crypto Saving Expert joining us here on these live streams so you can hear some differing opinions, and then he will be taking some on solo as well. So make sure to stay tuned for that and hear some other opinions from inside Crypto Saving Expert. Let's see what's going on here with the price of Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin currently trading at $36,206, down 0.22% within the last 24 hours. Ethereum down slightly as well, down 1.22% to $2,011. It did go below that $2,000 level. Now, what's happened here is exactly what we discussed yesterday here on this very channel. We were talking about the price of Bitcoin, the fact it had broken some levels of support, and the possibilities of testing some levels. So let's talk about that quickly. I am actually in a trade right now, so I'm watching that very closely. But you can see this is the channel that we were discussing yesterday for Bitcoin. Now, at the time of yesterday's stream, we had lost this level of previous support and we're using it as a level of resistance once again. And we were saying here, it is looking likely that we could be hitting this and retesting this previous level of support down at $35,250. Now, clearly not everybody was watching the CSC YouTube channel because $300 million worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum traders got liquid yesterday. So very unfortunate to see that there. It is quickly a quick move to liquidate some long positions. We all know Bitcoin takes the path of most pain, and it does things like this from time to time to liquidate those players that are just making too much money. So you can see here we have retested that lower level of support within that previous channel that we were trading in for a couple of weeks, and we are now testing that. We've tested that level of support. You can see it's a strong level of support, and now we are on the horizon of potentially touching that level of resistance once again. Now that resistance is at $36,870. Now there are some more levels that I want to be aware of and just cautious of right now. Initially, I was concerned about this level that runs across here, but we did get a nice confirmation bounce that was nothing to be concerned about on those smaller time frames. We've used this previous level of resistance here and here as a support on our run to the upside here. So this is actually a really strong move from Bitcoin, and I'm very surprised to see that this at this point in time. We did see a nice confirmation bounce of that support as expected, but as quick as a move, I didn't expect Bitcoin to move as quickly as it has done back to that middle zone of this channel, but that is brilliant to see. As I said, I did choose to trade that yesterday. I exited my trade because I don't like to trade overnight. I've made that mistake far too many times. So I made some nice profits off the initial bounce yesterday, and then I got out of my position. But we are looking at pretty nice moves here. If we take a look at Ethereum here as well, you can see that, yes, we did have a little bit of a shakeout. Some longers did get liquidated, but on the whole, things aren't looking too bad here on the charts. We've seen Ethereum was in a descending channel. We did see a pullback here, but that was what we wanted to see. As we keep saying here on the channel, a confirmation bounce of some of these levels is really healthy for the long-term price action here. Now with Ethereum, we've seen a retest of that $1,930 level, and now we are seeing a nice solid bounce here. So that if this bounce continues, that's a really positive move for the long term of Ethereum. Interestingly, let's take a look at what's going on with Ethereum Bitcoin. This chart is a bit of a mess right now. You can see it is moving exactly as we've charted it. If we go onto the 1 hour chart here, you can see it has got some sort of level of support here at 0.055. We've got a level of resistance at around 0.056. What I'm expecting to see here is eventually start to see some sort of reversal on that smaller time frame where Ethereum does start to outperform Bitcoin for a period of time unless we do move below that white line there. But I'm keeping a very close eye on this because, as I've said a lot here on the channel, my portfolio is predominantly Bitcoin, and I don't plan to change that until around the Bitcoin halving. I do believe there are many altcoins right now that have the potential to perform very, very well, but whenever I'm making decisions with my portfolio, I'm always working out if it's going to get me more Bitcoin in the long run. If I'm investing into an altcoin, I don't want it to perform the same as Bitcoin because it's a bigger risk to me. I'd rather hold on to Bitcoin for the long term. So when I'm looking at charts, I always look at the conversion between an altcoin and Bitcoin. Now for Ethereum, Bitcoin, it's really important because if this chart is moving to the upside, the majority of altcoins are probably going to be doing quite well as well. Now what we're seeing here is this could come to some sort of standstill like it did previously at this level of support, or we could start to see a nice bounce there. And if we do, and we see some sort of reversal here and Ethereum start to outperform Bitcoin, we could see another nice rally for some altcoins. Now let's take a look at Chainlink quickly because that has had a solid move to the upside. It did move a huge amount. It had a massive level of resistance that it was under for 530 days, and that was at this point here. Now that's managed to have a massive breakout and jump 100% since that breakout. Now on the smaller time frames, you can see we did have a little bit of a retracement. We're talking 20%, I believe it was 20% retracement there, but we are now seeing another leg to the upside for Chainlink. So exciting things going on there. Let's take a look at Cake here. You can see Cake is on another rally. If we take a look at the daily chart here, altcoins have just been going insane recently. If we take a level of resistance across here, you can see we had a confirmation bounce here, and that is pumping. What else can we look at? Let's take a look at DOT today and see what is going on here. In fact, we've been trading this for a very, very long time. Let's delete all these lines and start again. What you can see is we had a downtrend there, clearly, lower highs, lower lows. What I would be looking at closely here is the horizontal lines of the previous highs on that downtrend. So you can see they run across there. Right now, we are seeing a rejection at that $5.76 level. Whether that will continue is dependent on how Ethereum performs, in my opinion. And let's see what else is going on, though. I think it's time to look at some cryptocurrency news here and see what's going on there. That was just a quick run through of some of the major altcoins. Ethereum is currently trading at $2,012, so nice moves there. Let's take a look here at the first one. US CPI comes in below forecast at 3.2%. So this is the Consumer Price Index, the US inflation rates. We have been trying to get that down to 2% year on year. It's been incredibly difficult, but we have actually seen that inflation has come down to 3.2%. Let's take a look at this. CPI is calculated and released in 7 ways where we measure how far it is from the elusive 2% target by the Fed. Now, why is this important for the markets? Let's talk about that quickly. So with inflation, what's happening is we need to reduce nobody wants high inflation. We all know that. And to reduce inflation, the Fed used the tool that is called the interest rates. Now, if interest rates are high, people are borrowing less money, people have less liquid cash, and they aren't spending as much money, so the economy shrinks and inflation comes down. Now, so to increase interest rates is just a tool to lower inflation. Now, the problem with that is higher interest rates makes it very difficult for people. Nobody wants to see high interest rates, and that has a negative impact in the markets. Just as people have less liquid cash to spend and keep the economy moving and growing, people have less liquid cash to invest in the stock market, in the cryptocurrency market. So high interest rates is seen as a negative thing for the markets. However, we are starting to see inflation decline. Interest rates have been higher and higher, or just stabilized within the last couple of months. And with that, if we continue to see inflation decline, that means we're less likely to see more sudden increases in interest rates in the near future. So that is definitely a positive thing for the markets. These two things work hand in hand. Higher inflation rates mean higher interest rates. Higher interest rates are bad for the market. Lower inflation rates mean maybe the current interest rate is fine and that is causing enough of effect, and maybe we don't need to increase interest rates in the near future. In fact, maybe we could be looking at lowering them in the near future, and that's positive for the market. So the lower the inflation, the less likely an interest rate hike is necessary, and therefore the more positive it is on the market. So lower inflation is exactly what we want to be seeing here. Unfortunately, it's been a big challenge. We saw US inflation reach 9.1% in July 2022 year on year, and since that date they've had a target of trying to get inflation down to 2%. Now that is a challenge. 3.2% though is a massive change from 9.1%, but 3.2% to 2% is still a long way to go, so we need to be aware of that. And on the same token, let's talk about the inflation and debt crisis. We've been looking at Argentina this week, who've reached a 30-year high for inflation, with a figure reaching 143%. So the country reported 4.42% annual inflation, reaching 10.62% in 2013. However, fast forwarding several years, the country began spiraling into ruin as inflation skyrocketed to 25% in 2017, and it's now reached 143%. So inflation is now undoubtedly uncontrollable in Argentina. That means if you had £1 now, how are we going to work this out? £1, what you could buy with £1 then costs $2.43 now, I think. I think that's the calculation. I should really be able to do that much quicker than that. A country in ruin and lives destroyed. So these hyperinflation rates are devastating for the people that are using that currency and live in the region. What we are seeing here is the countries affected the most by inflation are typically not those considered global economic powerhouses, but we are seeing the US, China, Japan, Germany, the UK, and India hold the most national debt. The US national debt sits at $33.72 trillion. In October, it was reported that the US could exceed the $50 trillion mark by May 2025. Now, China holds almost $14.6 trillion worth of debt. We're seeing a huge amount of debt here. US citizens are said to be paying the price with this debt, and we are seeing credit card debt soaring as well. So we are looking at a crisis right now. A lot of people are concerned about this and the impacts it will have on the markets. Now, obviously, first of all, a crisis is difficult for everybody within the regions to power through. It's not an easy concept to want to see in the future. In terms of the stock market, we may see some sorts of crashes. In terms of the cryptocurrency market, it's really not certain how Bitcoin will perform in a global financial crisis. Bitcoin came out of the 2008 financial crisis as kind of like a result of that. It wasn't around in 2008. It came out because of 2008, supposedly. That's when Satoshi kind of released the white paper. So the understanding of what Bitcoin will do in a global financial crisis is speculation. But at this point in time, we do have some evidence to assume that Bitcoin could perform pretty well and be seen as a safe haven. At the start of this year, we saw a number of bank stocks in the US plummet, and we saw some banks actually default. And with that, we saw the price of Bitcoin moving to the upside pretty quickly. And in that case, we were seeing Bitcoin being used as a safe haven and as a way to move away from the traditional financial systems. Now, that is what Bitcoin is intended to be used for, so it is brilliant to see, but we also know that was on a much smaller scale than a global financial crisis, and we don't actually know how it would react. But at current scenarios in the past, enough the samples that we have so far, of the data we have so far, it is seen to be used as a safe haven there. It is called the hedge against inflation, and it is seen as digital gold. So whether those opinions would stand within a financial crisis is up for debate. I personally think it could be moving to the upside in that kind of scenario. But that is a discussion that we can all have, and we don't have any solid data to back any points of such scale. But let's take a look at the next article here and see what else is going on in the markets. Before we continue, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's see what else we've got here today. We are talking about Blackrock right now and stablecoins. So Blackrock's stablecoins occurred 5 months ago. But we are now seeing rumors on Twitter and other social media platforms. So we can see here, Bitcoin may be exposed to stablecoin risks, and this was stated by Blackrock within their iShares Bitcoin Trust Delaware filing. Now, this was in the same month that we saw Blackrock file for a spot Bitcoin ETF, but they had highlighted the risk of stablecoins to Bitcoin in that filing. Now, there has been a news outlet that has recently tweeted that information saying that Blackrock has seen stablecoins as a risk to Bitcoin with the caption breaking or just in, but they have seemed to have deleted those posts after it was revealed that the comments were part of Blackrock's iShares Bitcoin Trust Delaware filings that occurred back in June this year. So Bitcoin may be exposed to stablecoin risks. We can still talk about this and the effects that it could have. Within the filing, the world's largest asset manager commented on stablecoins under the heading, "Prices of Bitcoin may be affected due to stablecoins." BlackRock stated, while the trust does not invest in stablecoins, it may nonetheless be exposed to risks that stablecoins pose for the Bitcoin market and other digital asset markets. BlackRock used past events as examples of how stablecoins pose a risk to Bitcoin, with the USDC DPEG in March, following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank as one. However, the asset manager did not mention the UST collapse in May 2022. So BlackRock also commented on Tether, stating, "Some have argued that some stablecoins, particularly Tether, are improperly issued without sufficient backing in a way that when the stablecoin is used to pay for Bitcoin, it could cause artificial rather than genuine demand for Bitcoin." Now, there is some concerns around this. There's been concerns around stablecoins for years, not something that goes away, especially in a bear market. Things like to be highlighted more than ever. What we can see there is we are looking at the concerns that stablecoins can have for Bitcoin. We do have concerns within the market. I know that we're all cryptocurrency fans, but there are still problems in the market. We did see earlier this year that USDC depegged from the dollar because they had admitted that they had some of their reserves in Silicon Valley Bank, and that had a negative impact on the entire cryptocurrency space. There have been problems surrounding these issues before. I'm sure there will be more in the future. For BlackRock to highlight this during their filing is important. They want to have all the cards on the table so the SEC can make their informed decisions without saying that they are missing out any problems there. Please, before we continue with today's stream, to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's take a look at what else is going on here, because we are staying on the topics of stablecoins here. Tether has grown from ETF anticipation and digital dollar demand. Now, this is pretty controversial to that previous article. What they're saying here is BlackRock have said, look, we're filing for a spot Bitcoin ETF, but we do see concerns around stablecoins and their impacts on Bitcoin. And then Tether is saying, well, you filed for spot Bitcoin ETFs, and we're seeing growth as a result of that. So obviously, when the cryptocurrency market is seeing growth, when we're seeing the price of Bitcoin increase, when we're seeing ETF anticipation causing the price of Bitcoin to move to the upside and FOMO entering the markets, Tether typically does do well off the back of that. So Tether is the leading stable coin. If people are looking to trade, they're typically using Tether. So we are going to see Tether have a move because of this. Now, Tether has seen its market cap surge by at least $20 billion, asserting its dominance as the number one stablecoin cryptocurrency. It's minted 22.75 billion USDT, including over 4 billion USDT in the last 4 weeks. Now, Tether's previous high for market cap of $83 billion fell in May 2022, just before the UST crash, and the event which lit the spark, which became the bear market. The crash saw almost $20 billion wiped off its market cap in little over a month. Its cap would stay around the $60 billion mark going into the turn of 2023, which began in January with a market cap of $66 billion. But now we're seeing a huge amount of growth. We're seeing a lot of excitement around institutional investors and the possibility of a spot Bitcoin ETF, according to a Tether representative, something I definitely agree with. We're also seeing the Tether representative saying USDT is increasingly becoming the go-to digital dollar for emerging markets and developing nations, offering a shield against the devaluation of their national currencies when compared to the dollar. Now, we do have some stablecoin competition in the market. You can see BUSD is on a downward trajectory. We can see USDC is struggling as well. Its previous all-time high market cap of $56 billion came in June 2022. Since then, it's down down 50% there. So USDT is really managing to sweep up all of that demand for a stable coin, whether that's for digital dollar demand or for cryptocurrency trading there. Big changes are happening though, and a lot of excitement is flooding back into the markets. Before we continue with today's stream, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got 5 more articles to discuss today, and then we'll analyze the price of Bitcoin and see what's going on there. First of all, ChatGPT has made its first Bitcoin payment. It successfully made a payment on the Bitcoin network. Now, the post from a Twitter account has read, in fact, let's pull up the post here and see what it says. So the Twitter account is under the name FewSats, and they've said, I don't want you to freak out, but my OpenAI agent just paid a LN invoice for me. First time ChatGPT paid in Bitcoin, ? So in the responses to this, let's say we're saying, sounds awesome. Are you planning on making your GPT public? And yourself a follow. Lots of excitement here around Bitcoin and AI and the integration of that. The revelation was highlighted by Bitcoin analyst Dylan Leclerc, who quote posted it saying, internet money, #Bitcoin. The revelation opens many doors for integrating AI and Bitcoin, with the first transaction marking a significant milestone. A reply to the post asked if FewSats was planning on making the ChatGPT agent public or would provide the steps it took to configure it, and they said, we will publish a blog post about it. There are still many limitations, but with the new GPT's platform, you can connect it to external apps. We will launch our beta for an API-driven wallet soon. Now, OpenAI pauses GPT Plus signups at the same time. They have said, the surge in usage post-Dev Day has exceeded our capacity, and we want to make sure everyone has a great experience. So that's changes that are going on there. But this is interesting. This could be the start of something really new coming in. We are seeing AI developments left, right, and center. At least we're seeing the discussions of AI and how they can develop. But whether we're seeing the actual innovation, I believe, is a different question. But we are actually seeing moves here in the cryptocurrency sector. We are at the forefront of innovation. So I expect we will be one of the industries that really do push this new technology forward first as well. Now let's take a look at this next article here and see what is going on. OpenSea is using OpenSea phishing emails are spam NFT owners. So scammers are stepping up the pursuit of compromising NFT owners. I did not get any of that sentence out correctly. Essentially, scammers are spamming NFT owners, trying to phish their emails, trying to get access to their NFTs, and trying to appear as if they are the OpenSea team when actually they are scammers. Now, if you are wanting to read more about that, I will drop the link to it in today's live chat. Definitely be careful about cryptocurrency and NFT scammers. There are many out there, and we do need to be careful. If you want to educate yourself about how to stay secure online, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com and make sure to go to the courses section. You can make a free account on Crypto Saving Expert and get access to all of these Crypto 101 courses, and that includes the online safety course, where you can learn a basic understanding of online security and you can learn how to keep your cryptocurrency safe. We're in an industry where we're choosing to use self-custody and be our own bank. And with that, if you are going to be your own bank, if you are going to have self-custody, if you are going to invest in NFTs or any other cryptocurrency, you need to be making sure you are staying safe online. So make sure to educate yourself to the best of your ability to understand how to keep your cryptocurrency safe and stay safe online. And that course there is absolutely free on the Crypto Saving Expert website. Make sure to go over there and make a free account and go onto those Crypto 101 courses and try them out. If you enjoy them, then you can join on to our Crypto Saving Expert CSC Plus courses as well. There we have courses on front-end development, back-end, we didn't have back-end development courses up yet. We've got blockchain development courses up. And we've got courses on how to make a multi-sig wallet, how to create your own meme coin, how to create a smart contract, how to learn Solidity, of course teaching you Solidity, the leading Web3 coding language. If you are looking to become a blockchain developer, you can learn about how to avoid a reentrancy attack. You can also learn in this course, which I think is pretty cool, how a hacker exploits a reentrancy attack. So you'll be able to you'll be able to see a contract that has a vulnerability in it, and you'll be able to build the contract that exploits that contract to understand how that works and how to avoid having the same vulnerability in your own contracts in the future. Now let's take a look on the next article here and see what's going on. Moon surges over 180% following new token plan. So Moon, a token associated with Reddit's cryptocurrency community, has surged following a community update, and it has surged 180% following an update by community moderators outlining a new direction for the token. Now, the Reddit admins will renounce the Moon's contract, a process expected to be completed by the end of the month. This will prevent the creation of new Moons, ensuring that exchange listings persist while Moons transition into a completely decentralized state after the contract transfer to a burn address. So when a contract creator decides to renounce the Moon's contract, it basically means they don't have any special rights to the contract that the everyday to-day person doesn't have. So when you make a contract, a cryptocurrency project, you can have functions within your smart contract that are only accessible by the contract creators, by the wallet that has actually deployed that smart contract onto the blockchain. Now with this, they're saying they're going to renounce that, which basically means their wallet address, the creator's wallet address, will be removed from the list of special wallets. There will be no list of special wallets. You cannot undo that method. Once you've removed it, that's it. It's a completely decentralized state, and everybody can access the same amount of functions, and everybody can do the same as each other. Nobody has special access to special functions in the smart contract. So this is what we like to see. Now, if you are looking at different small coins like this, I always take a look at DEX tools because they have basically a checklist of things to check when you are looking at new projects. In fact, I'll pull up DEX tools now. So if we take a look at this, if this is going to load, here we go. I wonder what tokens are going to be pulled up. Let's go and look on this one first of all. You can see this one has, okay, got it. Let's go to, let's see where we can find this. So we want to find a really small stable coin, don't we? And then we can take a look at that. Let's take a look at Pepe. Let's see. I mean, this one wasn't small anymore. Pepe, there's lots here. Okay, let's just look at this one, for example. Now, if you scroll to here, you can see there's a checklist here on DEX tools. You can see that what the sell tax is, 6.15%. That's high, so when you sell tokens, you're going to have to pay 6.15%. When you buy tokens, you're going to have to pay 1%. And you can see here, contract verified, yes, contract renounced. So that shows that the contract creator will no longer have control over it, so no one can mint new tokens, rise taxes, blacklist wallets, or other dangerous contract functions for investors or holders. So what you want to see here is some nice green ticks. And on some tokens, they have a much longer list than this. It looks like they've changed the layout since the meme coin craze. But that's what we're looking at there. Let's move on to the next story and see what is going on in the cryptocurrency space. Before we continue, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. There are 20 of you viewing this video right now, and only 12 people liking today's stream, so make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, and help us grow this channel as big as possible. We've been here for almost a year posting these daily updates of what's going on in the cryptocurrency space, from when Bitcoin was down at $16,000 and no one wanted to pay attention, creating a community of people that have been here throughout these hard times and learned about the cryptocurrency news and stayed up to date with the market. So if you are one of those people, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. And if you want to become one of those knowledgeable crypto experts and you want to get into the space, make sure to join us here every single weekday where we talk about what's going on in crypto. Here we have blockchain.com raises $110 million in Series E funding round. This latest raise means the value of blockchain.com now stands at less than half of its previous $14 billion valuation from March last year. So a massive decline there. And the next story we have here is OKX is building a ZK-powered Layer 2 network. Now, we did see rumors about Huobi taking on the task of creating a Layer 2 protocol earlier this week, but now we're seeing OKX is the latest to draw up plans for a Layer 2. So we're seeing here Z1 is the ZK-powered Layer 2 network that connects the OKX and Ethereum communities to allow anyone to take part in a truly global on-chain ecosystem. So if you are interested in that, I will again drop the link to that in today's live chat. Some very big changes coming in this space here. These companies have been building throughout this bear market, and they're not afraid to present those works today. Let's take a look at Bitcoin once again to see what's happened while we've been streaming. Bitcoin is currently bouncing that previous level of support, which we did discuss in yesterday's stream. Right now, we are looking like we are back trapped within this channel. We have a level of support at $35,350 and a level of resistance at $36,900. In terms of next levels, if we do decide to break to either one, what I'd be looking at is the points in which we've had major levels before. Now, what I want to do here is I want to go into the bigger time frames, because on the bigger time frames, that's what's important. You can see the level that we've just bounced as a support has also been used as a level of resistance on that bigger time frame on the daily chart there as well. Now, if we take a look at the weekly chart, there are some solid levels in here that we should be aware of. First of all, we've got this one here at $31,700. We've got the one we are currently trying to battle through at $37,500 to $39,100. That is a major zone of resistance. So if we zoom back in to the smaller time frames on the 4-hour chart and we reset that price scale, you can see those lines there are acting as a very strong level, a zone of resistance right now. That is the whole zone that I'm looking at on the weekly chart. That is the $37,530 level to the $39,100 level. All of that's acting as a resistance. You can see it was here. We have some levels of support as well. As I said, we're looking at that $35,300 one. If we take another trend line here, you can see we have a level that has been used as a level of support again this morning. So we retested this and we've managed to use this as a level of support after having it as a level of resistance in more recent time frames. That wasn't necessarily a strong level of support, but with the relationship with this line here as well, that has become a strong support and managed to hold us up pretty nicely. Now, hopefully we do get to see a retest of this level of resistance today or towards the end of this week. We are seeing a lot of volatility in the markets right now. We did see $300 million worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum liquidations from yesterday's Bitcoin move to the downside. But here we did predict it. We did say the markets were looking slightly weak and there was a big potential of moving to that level of support. And that is exactly what has happened there. So hopefully none of us that have been watching this channel have been caught out on that move to the downside. Thank you very much, Ryan B, for that lovely comment. And thank you very much to everybody who has tuned in today. But that is the end of today's cryptocurrency news update. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I hope you have enjoyed. Please don't forget to smash the like button, give us a like, subscribe, bell notification button. Make sure that's turned on so you get notified when we do these live streams every single weekday. But that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and we will be back here tomorrow. So I